here today in the Louvre looking at the fabulous works of Van Eyck, a Renaissance artist from the Netherlands.
Yes, Jan van Eyck was considered one of the founders of early Netherlandish paintings.
He is best known for his harmonious compositions and his integration of figures into convincing three-dimensional environments.
He worked at the courts of Holland under John III and produced many religious paintings and secular works, most of which are now lost.
That's right, and after he became a court painter for Philip the Good.
Philip the Good sent Van Eyck to many countries, all to help secure a wife for the Duke. Later, around 1430 CE, he moved to Bruges.
Bruges was a big trade center, and the rich merchants were a good source of commissions for the artists.
Yes, and Jan van Eyck would end up settling down here for the rest of his life.
Now we're looking here at the beautiful Madonna of Chancellor Roland. This was made in 1435 CE, or 4 years after he moved to Bruges and got married.
Yes, and this work was commissioned by Nicholas Roland, who was an art patron from the Netherlands.
You can even see Roland depicted here as a donor to the Madonna and Child.
It can be split into two sides, with a votive or donor portrait on the left, contrasting with the more Byzantine-inspired depiction of Mary as Theotokos on the right.
Absolutely. We can also see a separation from Byzantine traditions with the realistic three-quarter full-length portrait.
We can see examples of distinguished symbolism here.
The Chancellor is dressed in golden garments, kneeling before the Virgin and Child.
That's right, a common reference to the Old and New Testaments.
Now taking a closer look, we can see how the lavish velvet robe, which contains embroideries quoting creation, really emphasizes Mary's central position in the portrait.
Yes, as well as the angel hovering over her head, carrying a luxurious golden crown, referencing the link between heaven and earth.
Yes, this is a common technique utilized by Van Eyck to help frame Mary as the focal point.
Now moving left, we can see Jesus actually blessing Roland, holding a silver orb and a golden cross.
This really expresses baby Jesus' power over creation.
Now here, Eyck uses 3 Roman arches in the background to refer to the Holy Trinity, as well as provide a visual link between the trio.
Van Eyck utilizes Romanesque style to represent Earth, and Gothic to demonstrate the heavenly realm.
Absolutely. Greco-Roman influence was common in artwork around this time.
And looking at the background, Van Eyck does not display a real place, but rather one from his imagination, which contains a village likely referencing his own.
All of this is beautifully framed by the arches once again, almost as a painting within a painting.
This next work is called The Virgin in a Church.
It shows light flooding into the interior of a Gothic cathedral, where a Mary and a child hold the court.
That's right. One of the first things that stands out to me is the sheer scale of the Virgin and Child, which is way out of proportion to her surroundings.
In this particular artwork, Mary is depicted as the Queen of Heaven, wearing a very decorative crown.
Yeah, back to the size, I want you commented on that. Van Eyck is literally portraying not the Madonna in a church, but the Madonna as the church.
Her red dress, which is covered with a dark blue robe that has a golden embroidery, is symbolic of Christ's future sacrifice.
To the right of them, there are 2 angels singing from a hymn book in the doorway.
Jan van Eyck's painting style tends to have a high degree of realism, which really comes across in this particular piece.
Yes, however, despite being very realistic, most of the church's interiors he included in this painting were purely fictional. He sought to create an ideal and perfect space for Mary's appearance.
That's right. Traditionally, the churches would be oriented toward the east, and the light source in this piece is shown streaming in from the north, which is physically impossible.
Exactly, the light is not of the world, but perhaps symbolized Mary as a source of spiritual light.
Jan van Eyck had a profound impact in Northern Europe, with his incredibly realistic portrayals of the human form and harmonious usage of lighting in his environments.
Amazing, truly.
Truly, profound artist.